What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be spectating random players in Fortnite Zero Build. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and comment down below what you think of this week's Metal Gear update. A lot of people were disappointed, and I've also seen a fair amount of confusion from players kind of asking, like, why is this cardboard box mythic rarity when it's just, like, kind of useless? It's just kind of a meme collab item from Metal Gear Solid, and a lot of the collab items just are at mythic rarity. It doesn't really have anything to do with like the spawn rate or the effectiveness of the item. They just typically put the collab items as mythics. So that is why that is the way it is. Overall, I think the update was okay. Kind of disappointing in some ways as well, because I personally would have really liked to see a shakeup of the shotgun meta. That's what I most would have been looking forward to. But I am happy that they nerfed snipers a little bit while keeping them still pretty good. They just made them a little harder to use. And, yeah, not the greatest update, not the worst update either. I think this update just had a lot of people's expectations really high because it had been so long in between updates. But that's just kind of, like, how things go with the start of the year in Fortnite. I'm sure things will kind of start to get more on track week to week, and people won't have, you know, everything riding on just, like, one update in their mind. So we're going to be... Yo, alright, there you go. I must say, we're about to be spectating Solid Snake. He doesn't want to finish the job. There you go. I had to, like, bait him into doing it. We're on board with solo deaths. He might have just threw his game, wasting time eliminating me. He's got the EMP grenades. I don't know if he knows anybody's here or what. And he gets shot in the back. GG's. By Monkey God 244 with the Flowberry Fizz. It's always rough when people have some sort of, you know... They feel bad, the fact that I haven't gotten a weapon, and then they wait to eliminate me, and then it just kind of like ruins their own game. First tip of the video, don't ever have any sort of sympathy for other Fortnite players not having a gun off spawn. Monkey God has a trolly name, but I like how he's played this thus far. People were shockwaving around him, and he just immediately got to a different right shoulder peak. I think that guy went all the way through the building, but it could be kind of hard to tell that in the heat of the moment. So I like that he just immediately repositioned to a different right shoulder peak and prepared to fight that person. Doesn't have a shotgun, but he does have the burst SMG, which can definitely get the job done in close range, especially if it has the laser sight attachment. I'm not sure if his does. I wouldn't want to go for the boss here. Yeah, he's just gonna go to this other house. I actually like this player so far. Like I said, he's got a trolley name. He's a default, but I like a lot of what he's done. He sprint jumped into the crash pad there so he could go even further, and he's gonna try to go for the extra loot in this house, and then deal with the boss once other people start fighting it. And I think that was a very good decision to not start fighting the boss there. There's some shooting going on outside. I think it's an AI though, but that AI has to be shooting at something. Yeah. Oh no, he's getting shot in the back. He's panicking, I think. Burst SMG can go crazy here. Nice. Nogops did get sniped by somebody else. I don't know why he didn't go as far with that crash pad. And I thought I heard that player under him, but I also kind of thought it was the guard, because there is a guard in that area that spawns by that little house. Unfortunately, he didn't get any shield item out of that little house, but I like kind of going for that to try to get some more loot, let the chaos at the POI kind of cool down a little bit, and then, you know, get more engaged again once somebody starts dealing with the boss. It's always like a kind of like cat and mouse game at these boss POIs of like going for the boss versus kind of just playing to eliminate the other players. And things got a little dicey there, but so far I like how Monkey Boy has played. It's just unfortunate that that Nogops completely caught him off guard. Grapple blade there. People fighting under him, I think. Oh no, they're up here. This is perfect. I don't think those grenades are going to do anything. I would have liked for him to... Oh, he did get a kill, actually. I would have liked for him to be, like, at the door as the grenade was blowing up. That way he could just get right in. Not get in while the grenade was detonating, but the moment the grenade finished detonating, I think you want to get in there and potentially clean up the kill if there was anybody left. It's going to be a blue auto shotgun for him here and shockwaves if he chooses to go for those. Might not go for that since he does have crash pads and a grapple blade. Personally, I think shockwaves are just the best mobility item for, like, in a fight. Yeah, there we go. If you snipe somebody or you get damage on somebody and you want to push them, I think the shockwaves are going to be the go-to mobility item. Not that the grapple blade is bad. It's actually, like, a very interesting kind of, like, state of the game right now, because I think if you put the grapple blade in a meta where there's no shockwaves, and people would be, like, talking about how great it is. But because shockwaves exist and they're just, like, better for pushing people after you get damage, it kind of is the go-to for a lot of players. especially in solos. I could see, you know, finding a whole squad's worth of shockwaves for players to be burdensome, but in solos, especially with the sniper meta being a thing, let's see if he tries to melee him with the grapple blade. The grapple blade does great against the riot shield with the melee attack, but he just gets great damage there on Solid Snake with the shotgun. I just go in with the grapple blade. You got this. I think he wins this. His fight's getting kind of sketchy, but I still think Monkey got... Oh no, not the launcher. The launcher was not the play. Reload. Oh no. I think he wants to reload the burst here and then spray it mid-range. But I think his shotgun is also not loaded, and that's like kind of what's panicking him. But that Solid Snake is really weak. Or they should be weak. That's like the second time he broke their shield. Someone's fighting the boss. Could go for the launcher here, but I don't think it's going to be the play. It takes so long to hit the person that he might just be eliminated by the time it gets there. And like the riot shield player can easily just move out of the way. We'll see if this ends up getting them. You want to spray with the burst here. Break the block. They did nerf how much damage the riot shield can block before they get like stunned. In this week's update, I don't think it was like a massive change, but they did reduce that a little bit. I don't know why. Yeah, just unload the burst on him at this range and Solid Snake will die. I don't know why he's having such a hard time with that. And then like unfortunately this shielder is just hitting all their shots. But I think that was like a very attainable kill. Maybe they just had messed up the reload on the burst before, because it seemed like, not this last time, but the time prior to that they were shooting him with the burst. It seemed like he ran out of ammo very fast. Like I don't think it was full at all. And that's just kind of the danger of riot shields. Like, the start of that fight was great, but I feel like he just kind of let up the gas a little bit. When he backed up onto the roof, it was okay, but like then going to the launcher, I don't think was the play. I feel like once he had that damage advantage on the riot shielder, if he just, you know, kept pressuring them with the shotgun when they were in the barn, if he started like jumping and trying to slide behind him, I think it was a very attainable kill. But now the riot shielder is out to fight another day. I think there's somebody in the vault as well, and so things get sketchy because obviously they want to deal with that player, but also like the riot shielder Solid Snake is still out there. Gonna shoot the camera, but again that gives away his location. Now this person is gonna know for sure that there's somebody outside. And he doesn't really have anything to pressure the vault with. I think getting the rocket launcher in there would be very hard. He's just gonna go up and 50-50 it, and like that's not gonna go his way when he's already at an HP deficit. I like the play somewhat. Like sometimes just getting in on the vault can be a better play than just kind of like existing outside and doing nothing, especially when he didn't have like grenades, he didn't have EMPs, he didn't have a sniper to potentially look for like a body shot and then get in off that. I think it's better than just like standing outside, but also with him already being weak and the Antonia that we're currently spectating being like kind of aware of it, just not great. Unfortunately for this Antonia, there's no snipers in the vault. So one of the changes they made in this week's update is those little weapon slots on the right side of the mod bench used to be guaranteed snipers. That is no longer the case. There is a sniper on the ground there, but those used to be guaranteed snipers. Prior to the update, you would get 2 guaranteed snipers at every like boss vault. That is no longer the case, and now you have a chance to just get no snipers at all out of them. And so it could really impact your game if you are someone that really wants to snipe, with the availability of snipers just being a little less prevalent. Again, it's probably something that doesn't matter as much in solos, but in squads, if you want to find, you know, a sniper for everybody on the team, it gets a little rough. I think he maybe thought that was a sniper. Yeah. So I don't know why he did that, though, because he could have had that green sniper at the vault, and I don't think rarity of sniper really matters at all, because, you know, they all do roughly 100 body damage or so, and then they all one hit to the head regardless of rarity as of the time I'm recording this. So I feel like he could have just, you know, taken that green sniper, and you won't really notice the fact that it's green. Right, he's gonna get these big pots. I was like kind of wondering whether or not he was gonna get heals at all, because earlier on in the season some players would just take the medallions instead of having heals, but after medallions were nerfed, I don't think that was a good play at all. I think he was just like temporary not having heals so he could like get out of zone, which was a fine decision, I think, especially with there being a vending machine here and that player seemingly being very aware that there's a vending machine there. And that's one of the reasons why you don't really have to stress zone when you go to a lot of these spots, because it's going to be a one tick until like 4th or 5th zone. And there's a lot of mending machines around the map. So if you know where the mending machines are and you can get there quickly, like zone is rarely going to be a problem. There's another Medallion player over here that seemingly this Antonia wants to eliminate. I actually like this skin a lot. I haven't used it in a while, but this was one of my favorite skins out of the Chapter 4 Season 4 Battle Pass. There's actually 3 Medallion players here, counting the player that we're spectating. So things are about to get crazy because obviously... they're dead to these. Oh, wow. I'm surprised they won that. They're going to get third-partied, though. But, obviously, you know, you see the Medallion players on the map, but there's probably also several other players in the area also trying to eliminate the Medallion players. If I was them, I would want to go to that gas station mending machine, but it sounds like something just exploded over there. So that doesn't seem like a good play. There also is a mending machine in Reckless Reels. Or, I'm sorry, Ruined Reels. But, you know, that POI is typically going to be pretty chaotic. But if you are in this Antonia's shoes, I think you definitely want to go for a mending machine of some kind to get your white health. There is a decent amount of barrels in this building and vegetable baskets. There's a campfire outside as well, but it's hard to, like, the campfires heal you so slow in zero build because you can't stoke it. I think you're better off just going inside and eating the vegetables and then being less exposed, honestly. Because, like, this could work out. There's a lot of things in Fortnite you can do. You can take risks and it, like, you know, doesn't punish you. But if anybody, like, catches him standing out on this campfire, he's probably going to lose a lot more health than he's going to gain from it. But it seemingly, you know, no one is concerned about them. But that is something that could be a problem, or could have been a problem. Just because a, you know, mistake goes unpunished doesn't mean it wasn't a mistake, or just wasn't, like, I feel like needlessly greedy. But it works out in the end. In this bush. Gonna wait for the combat cache loot. I don't really go for the combat caches much at all in Chapter 4. They're very good in, or Chapter 5, sorry. They're very good in Chapter 4 because they had the slurp juices, and then also it would give you a Havoc pump corresponding to the rarity that you started opening at. So if you got it gold, it'd be a guaranteed gold pump. And the pumps were good. But this season, I don't really know what this player is expecting from this combat cache. Maybe just more big pots. They could drink a big. I'm not sure why they haven't already. Maybe they're, like I said, they might be more aware of what they can get out of this combat cache and be basing their decision on that. Not really sure. But the idea that, like, they're going to get 40 health instead of 50 from the big, I don't think is that big of a deal. Just drink the big and get full health. Like, missing out on that 10 shield, not that big of a deal. I think it's better to be max health in case a fight does kind of start to pop off. Did get a big pot out of it, but he's still just going to be at 3, so he can drink this and be at, like, the amount that he was currently at. Again, doesn't matter in this situation, but if somebody came over here and fought him while he was waiting for that to open, it would have been a problem. There's another 2 Medallion player in Ruined Reels, and then the final Medallion is at fencing. So this fight is a big fight here. The winner of this fight will have 4 Medallions, and that's where they, you know, start to get really decent, I think. There's a player in the bush in front of them. If they're controller, I think you definitely want to run that bush over with the car. You don't want to fight like this. And it works out, unfortunately, but I do not think it should have. Flowberry Fizz there. Use that, I think. Whether or not you prefer the Flowberry Fizz or the big pots is really up to you. I think I prefer the big pots. Like, the animation on how long it takes to start the Flowberry Fizz just feels so long to me every time I need to use it. So I would rather just carry the bigs. But the Flowberry Fizz is obviously good as well. There is a mending machine in this POI, like over here. They should go to that and then click the button twice to be max health. That would be great. The fight popping off. But that fight ended quick. I think you just worry about healing yourself here. He does have 4 medallions now, so everybody in the lobby is going to be very aware of the location. That bounty is the person that just fought to the side over there. I'm not sure why he just bought so many med kits. I guess because he has all the medallions now. He thinks, like, I don't need shield. Could be good, could be bad. We'll see. If they get, like, sniped and pressured right away, they're probably going to be sad that they don't have any actual shield items to use. Because it takes quite a while for the medallions to start healing now. Anytime you take damage, your heal on the medallions is interrupted. and it also takes a decent amount of time just to like to regen health. It doesn't tick as fast as it used to. Also, not the biggest fan of having the SMG here, because what is the point of it with the auto shotgun? Having a sniper, I think, would be more valuable, or more heals, or, you know, more mobility. And, like, again, the SMG hasn't been used at all during this match, so not really sure what's going on there. But some people kind of just feel like they have to be kind of like locked into a certain loadout of, I'm going to use AR, shotgun, SMG, because that's like the standard way. And it is maybe something that would be more beneficial in squads. If you're having to deal with 4 people at once, then like maybe having that SMG in your back pocket would help. But in solos, I don't think it's the most necessary thing at this point in time. It depends on the season, but like typically when we have a fast fire rate shotgun meta, like the auto shotgun, you don't have as much of a need for like a secondary spray weapon like an SMG. And then also the striker AR is very versatile. There was a player on that hill near them, and I think that player had a hired NPC. Not really sure if they saw them and just chose to not fight it, or what went on there. I think either is possible. They may have not seen them. They might have seen them and chose to not fight it. Who knows? Player shot in fencing. If I was them, I would not want to be fighting in fencing at this point in time. I feel like mid to late game fights in fencing are always just super ratty, and there's not much of a need to go for it with this zone, so I kind of like just leaving that player there. I think they want this final medallion, which they should definitely get if they want it. If you're not going to carry shield and you're just only going to carry white heals, I think you definitely want all the medallions. And the difference between 4 and 5 as far as like how exposed on the map you are is very minuscule. They're probably going to switch cars here because that one has full gas, never mind. But you see how small this circle is here? You can't really have a player in that area and not know where they are. So making it even smaller, I think, is just really not even that big of a deal when it comes to like 4 versus 5. Like you're already so exposed. Gas ran out, and that's why I was saying they might want to switch a car. That's something I do a lot this season. If I'm ever driving a car and then I find a fresh one that's just parked there, pretty much we'll always just swap them, so I don't have to worry about gas. And there's, again, if you learn where all the car spawns are on the map just by playing, it's like pretty easy to just do that, because there's a car spawn here, there's potential one in that parking lot, and then there's also one at the gas station that's behind him. Does he die to fall damage here? That is unfortunate. Doesn't die, but took a decent amount of needless fall damage. That's just unlucky. That's Fortnite. Somehow he ran himself over while getting out of the car. GG's. I don't even know why he takes damage there, because currently if you run someone over with your car, they don't take fall damage. Like in game, I do it a lot, and then the person just takes like a little bit from getting hit by the car, but they don't take any fall. Usually if you haven't done any damage to them yet, it just like goes into the overshield. This player's probably gonna get in their car and leave, I would imagine. It doesn't seem like they're that intense fight. I don't know what's going on though. One thing I haven't liked about this player so far is that they aim in with their shotgun a lot up close, and it hadn't cost them yet, but they didn't do it in that fight, and then they just lost. I don't even know what this player had. Did they have the mythic pump? The Antonio we were spectating just died so fast. Yeah, they had the mythic pump and just hit a good shot, and that's GG's. That's very surprising. I was not really sure what this, I guess Sergey is their name? Not sure what they were doing, just chilling on their G-Wagon like that as the Antonio drove up. I thought they like didn't want to fight, or they disconnected or something. And then, yeah, that happened. GG's. This person has clingers. What is going on? Oh no. Using the cars as cover. They have 4 opponents remaining. I believe I just saw somebody on the mountain over here, like running down. Yeah. And this is where like snipers are so helpful, because if he had a sniper, you could like kind of throw snipes at that person there. But they don't have a sniper. Using the AR at that range is like not really going to get anything done. And they would be exposed for a longer period of time shooting, potentially leaving them susceptible to third-party snipes. He just wants to chill there here with his cars. I think this is fine. They have zone. Lots of players are going to have to come to them. I think if you're in this situation, so this is like half and half zone where you see half is in, half is out. If you have half and half and you're already in zone, I think you want to play to limit your exposure as much as possible, because the rest of the lobby has to get to where you are, so everybody is kind of incentivized to like focus you and fight you. So if there's like somebody over here being weird, I don't think you want to focus that too much. I think you want to just like play as safe as possible, and just play to like not have a fight happen. I think part of the top of the mountain is in zone, and I would want to like move to that as soon as it's open. Standing in the center of this zone is not great. I get why they're doing it right now, but it's not great because a lot of players are just going to naturally focus you. And so he ends up driving out of zone, which you might think is like, why is he leaving zone? But I actually think that is a decent play. I'm not sure why he got out of his car now, but he's getting in the tree. This is questionable. Either way, though, I think that's something you have to be very careful about in these zones. And a lot of times, if I'm in half and half, I want to drive over to like the new side and get to there before anybody else, because the rest of the lobby will kind of flow into the old side. With this one, it's weird because the new is very disadvantaged, so I think I would have wanted to get like here because that's the top of the mountain, and it's still kind of like out of the way and a newish area, so when everyone else kind of like flows in, you're not just naturally kind of like focused. But I think that's a mistake a lot of players have, is they think like, oh, I'm in zone, I'm good. But like sometimes getting to zone first and having the good spot in zone will get you focused, and like what you need to do is just recognize that you're in a situation where you're probably going to get focused, and then don't force anything, don't expose yourself too much, you know, and that'll be GG's. I think you want to hop on this Black Knight for sure. They have a riot shield and you just had them weak, so this is a kill you push. They have the grapple blade instead of shockwave, so it's a little harder to make that happen. They get the kill though. I would want to get in my car as soon as possible here. You don't need this loot, you have great loot. Just get in the car and reposition from where you are, because you know the third parties are going to be coming out since you just fought. Especially in like a solo in-game, everyone just kind of plays to do nothing in third party a lot of times. So the moment I got that kill, I would have just gotten in this car. That way I can't be shot from as many different angles, and just like reposition. Maybe look to see if someone's going to try to make a play on me, and then go from there. With this zone, I think you'd want to get to here maybe. This is like what I was talking about. Both these players are probably going to be concerned about him. Not only does he have all 5 medallions, but also he has front side of new zone. Is the easiest way to rotate in, so people are naturally going to focus him. He has a lot of reasons why people are going to focus him, and that can be fine as long as he doesn't like overplay his hand. If he doesn't do anything dumb, he will win this game. But if he gets greedy and feels like he has to, like, you know, do something, then things could get bad. And things can go bad at any point in time. We saw that this match with that Antonia, who is getting a lot of kills, just immediately get deleted, and then just also snipers got nerfed, but they're not bad. They're just a little bit harder to use, so you can still get deleted from the game at any time. Unfortunately, he got out of the car and was on the wrong gun. Doesn't matter though. Get in the car, immediately reposition, let your shield regenerate. Unfortunately, his car rolled out of zone, so he's not gonna be able to use that, but I would want to get into the car again immediately, because you know people are going to play to third party you. You only have the medallion for shield, which can be okay, but if the fight happened in like the immediate after that fight, then that would have been bad for him. Solid snake class player. I wonder if this is probably the same riot splitter from earlier in the game. They lose this though. GG's. But yeah, the Sergey person played that well. I want them to do their crowns. They're doing the gritty. I want to see how many crowns they have. But that is going to be it for this video. Hope you guys found this helpful, informative, interesting. If you did, remember to give it a like. Subscribe if you like some more. Comment down below what you thought of the Metal Gear update, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.